Matty, it's great to see you again.
Great to see you, Ben.
Now, it's funny because we go a while back. We've been working on a film together, a children's animated film, which has had to be put on hold a few times. And see, what was your experience when I auditioned you for the film?
Well, at that point, I had not done any voiceover work just yet. I was looking for someone to do work with, to do a project with. And I remember I auditioned for you. I sent in a couple of pieces with the script that you had given me. And I remember your first response was, "Hey, this was great. Do you mind? We might we might change things up voice wise if you are selected for the role, but otherwise, great job." And I remember going, I can work with that. And we, sure enough, we did kind of change the voice a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic experience. First,
Yes. Well, hey, you've got the part, and I'm sorry a few things have been a little late with the project lately. So much has been going on my
that's
side.
showbiz.
Yeah, it is showbiz. And I mean, it's like the Flash movie. Okay, that had to get put on hold three times because there were so many changes going on with Warner Brothers, and of course there was that controversy going on with Ezra Miller, and which is
Right,
still going on. So I mean, yes, we all know what that's like.
right.
But yeah, the title has been switched to Jake, and there's a few rewrites. So don't worry, we'll make sure we get those scenes reshot, and we hope to have the
Yeah.
film out by, I'd say 2027, 2028.
All right, awesome.
I mean, it's stop motion. Of course, that takes time.
That does take a lot of time,
You
but
can't
in the
rush
end,
art.
it's worth it.
Oh, yes, you cannot rush art. And
Right.
speaking of art, you are in a musical stage adaptation of White Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, is that did that already happen, or is that going to be happening in December?
So that already happened. We did the Christmas in July type deal.
That's what I
So
thought.
that's already wrapped up, but that was an amazing experience. I was a part of the dance ensemble. So there was four of us guys a part of that, and I only had a little bit of dance experience, so it was interesting to say the least. But I can now say I know tap dance, I know a little bit of jazz, and definitely just Broadway dance.
Well done, well done.
Yeah, it
And
was fun.
which character in White Christmas did you portray?
So I was just dance ensemble.
Okay.
I got called back for one of the lead roles, but one of my friends actually got that role and he did it so well. But I was just happy to be a part of it. And again, I learned some skills that I didn't previously know before, and that was definitely a great experience.
Nice. Well done, Maddie. And how old were you when you started acting or wanted to go into acting?
Yeah, so that hmm, around 2019. So I was 2021 at that time.
Nice.
2021.
Um, what is the best advice that you would give to people who want to go into acting or want to go into theater, film, or
The
etc.?
best advice I could give somebody would be to get started in some way, shape, or form, whether that's going out for auditions, get on some sort of website like Backstage or something. Kind of shoot for the lower stuff that you might not get paid for it, just to get some work right on your portfolio. Um, Maybe make your own stuff, which is what I'm doing right now. Um, yeah, so I would say quit talking, start doing.
Well done. Well done.
In any way you can. If you don't have any money, go ahead. Maybe do a low project production film on your phone. Maybe try to, like I did, kind of get into a theater production, whatever it might be. Just kind of start doing it, start gaining some skills. Like for me, it was dance. Singing is a priority on my list, and acting. There was acting classes that I had to take, and multiple things like that. So really start getting interested in it and start doing it.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
And which is funny because that's how I became an illustrator at Slapstick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
they can see your passion. I can see it. So,
oh, thanks very much. Thank you. And now, last question of the interview, since this is retro podcast, what was your favorite retro product growing up as a child or an early teen? And it could be anything from the 80s, 90s, or even the early 2000s.
like cartoon, anything, or
It could be a cartoon, action figure, video game, film, board game.
you know what? You had mentioned this in one of your videos, actually. I can't remember the names of it, but it is stop motion. I think it's more like puppetry, but it was those old Christmas films, like The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Love that movie.
Yes. So those, I love those movies. I grew up with those movies, like all the Rudolph, Baby New Year, all of those. And when I heard you talking about that on one of your YouTube videos, it just kind of sparked something in my head. I was like, oh man, I do love those movies. Those, there's just something classic about it.
They are the best. I guess don't know what it is that Rankin and Bass has, but I guess they have that kind of magic that makes everyone love that style.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Maddie, thank you very much for joining today's episode. It's great to see you again, and we'll send you more information about Jake.